Imagine a tiny, sealed capsule. It fits right in the palm of your hand. Yet, it contains the entire genetic blueprint to grow a massive 100-foot tree. It is dense, it is heavy for its size, and it is packed with enough raw energy to survive the harshest winter. This is not some futuristic biohacking technology or a pharmacy pill. It is an almond. It is a walnut. It is a pistachio. You probably walk past them in the grocery store every single week. Maybe you grab a bag of the roasted, salted ones for a party. Or maybe, and this is much more likely, you walk right past them because you have been programmed for the last 30 years to fear one specific word on the label: fat. For decades, we were told that fat is the enemy. We see the calorie count on a bag of cashews, and our brain screams danger. We think that if we eat fat, we get fat. So we put the bag back on the shelf and grab a low-fat, highly processed snack instead, thinking we are making the scientifically smart choice for our waistline. But here is the uncomfortable truth. By avoiding these compressed energy capsules to save a few calories, you are actually starving your body of the exact tools it needs to fight the modern world's most silent and deadly killer: chronic inflammation. Right now, inside your body, a war is happening. It is a war against free radicals. Think of free radicals as biological rust. Just like rust eats away at the frame of a classic car, these unstable molecules are corroding your cells, stiffening your arteries, and aging you from the inside out. You feel this. It is the stiffness in your joints in the morning. It is the heavy brain fog at 2 in the afternoon. It is your recovery time after a simple workout taking 2 days instead of 1. That bag of nuts you walked past? It was not just a snack. It was armor. Almonds and cashews are loaded with flavonoids and vitamin E. These are the specific biological weapons your body desperately needs to stop that rusting process and slow down cellular aging. But because we are so scared of a simple calorie count, we send ourselves into battle completely unprotected. But what if I told you that the story we have been sold is entirely backward? What if I told you that eating more of this high-fat, calorie-dense food could actually shrink your waistline and completely rewrite your body's operating system? It sounds impossible, I know. It defies the basic math of calories in, calories out. But your body is not a calculator. It is a chemistry lab. And when you understand the chemistry of what happens when you eat a nut, everything changes. Before these nutrients can rewrite your health, they have to pass the first test: your stomach. And what happens there defies everything we have been told about weight loss. You open the bag. You look at the nutrition label. The numbers stare back at you, mocking your diet plan. A single handful of nuts can have as many calories as a small meal. If you are tracking your macros or practicing intermittent fasting, you might hesitate. You think, I am trying to optimize my weight. Why would I eat a block of pure fat? It is a valid fear. If you ate a block of sugar with those same calories, you would be in serious metabolic trouble. But a nut is not sugar. Here is the scientific twist that changes the game. A major study published in 2019 looked at this exact problem. They tracked people's habits and body weight, and they found a result that shocked everyone. The people who ate at least 28 grams of nuts every single day, which is about a handful, did not gain weight. In fact, they gained less weight and had a significantly lower risk of obesity than the people who actively avoided nuts. How is that possible? How can you eat more calories and get leaner? It comes down to the fuel source. When you eat a pretzel or a cracker, it burns like a piece of paper thrown into a fire. Whoosh! A huge spike in energy followed by a huge crash 10 minutes later. That crash makes you hungry again. You eat more. It is a metabolic trap. But a nut? A nut is like throwing a dense, slow-burning oak log onto the fire. It does not flare up. It smolders. It releases energy slowly and steadily for hours. This triggers a powerful biological mechanism called the satiety signal. The protein and fiber in that handful of peanuts or almonds hit your gut and send a chemical text message straight to your brain that says, "We are safe. We are full. You do not need to eat for a while." It is like installing new software that stops you from snacking on junk. You are not using willpower to stop eating. You just are not hungry. And it is not just about fullness. It is about function. You have to realize that not all nuts are doing the same job. Think of them as a specialized construction crew for your body. If you need to build muscle and repair tissue after a gym session, you call in the heavy lifters, peanuts and almonds. If you need pure, clean fuel for your brain to clear that fog, you call in the energy experts, macadamia and walnuts. If you need a quick burst of energy, you grab pecans. When you start viewing these foods as tools rather than cheats, the anxiety disappears. You are not spending calories. You are investing them. So your hunger has vanished. Your metabolism is humming along like a well-oiled machine. But while you are feeling full and energized, the real magic is not happening in your stomach. It is happening deep in the dark, rushing rivers of your blood system. This is where the stakes get incredibly high. We need to talk about the silent killer that keeps us up at night. Cholesterol and heart health. Imagine your arteries are the pipes in your house. The bad cholesterol, known as LDL, is like sticky, thick sludge. Over time, if you eat the wrong foods, that sludge starts to build up on the walls of the pipes. It hardens. It narrows the flow. This restricts blood flow, not just to your heart, but to your brain and your entire body. Blood flow is life, and this sludge is slowly suffocating it. Now, enter the hero of our story, the nut. Specifically, we are talking about a powerful compound called phytosterols. These are plant-based compounds, and they are molecular geniuses. Because they look almost exactly like cholesterol, they actually compete with it for absorption in your body. They effectively block the bad stuff from ever getting into your system. But it gets even more specific. Science shows us that different nuts act like different members of an elite cleaning crew. If you want to scrub away that bad sludge, you need the scrubbers: almonds, peanuts, pecans, and walnuts. These are the guys actively scraping your arterial walls clean. But you do not just want to remove the bad. You want to boost the good. That is where hazelnuts and pistachios come in. They have been shown to elevate your good cholesterol levels. Think of this good cholesterol as microscopic janitors that patrol your bloodstream, picking up the trash and carrying it back to the liver to be safely disposed of. The impact of this is staggering. Listen to these numbers closely. Research suggests that if you eat nuts just once a week, you reduce your risk of heart disease by about 4%. That is okay, but it is not life-changing. But if you commit to this, if you incorporate a daily serving of nuts into your routine, that protection jumps to a massive 27% reduction in heart disease risk. That is the difference between being a statistic and being a survivor. You are literally fortifying your heart with every single bite, and the protection does not stop at your chest. Beyond the rushing rivers of your blood, there is your gut. The deep internal shield. Studies show that a higher consumption of nuts is powerfully linked to a reduced risk of colon cancer. The antioxidants and the dense fiber do not just clean your arteries. They shield your digestive tract, acting like an advanced security system that actively prevents tumor formation. It is like having a 24/7 bodyguard for your internal organs. So at this point, the picture looks perfect. Your heart is pumping cleaner, your waistline is shrinking, and your internal organs are shielded. But we have to be responsible here. There is a dark side to this superfood. There is a hidden trap that can turn this medicine into a poison. And if you are not careful, you might be doing much more harm than good. People hear that nuts are healthy, so they go to the grocery store and they buy the honey roasted peanuts, or the almonds heavily dusted in smokehouse flavoring. They are delicious, yes, but they are a Trojan horse. These highly processed nuts are loaded with excessive sodium and cheap, inflammatory vegetable oils. If you are actively watching your metabolic health, that salt is dangerous. Excessive sodium stiffens your blood vessels, effectively undoing all the hard work the raw nuts were just trying to do. You are pressing the gas and the brake at the exact same time. The salt sends your blood pressure up, increasing your risk of stroke, while the nut tries to bring it down. It is a completely losing battle. To unlock the real superpower, you have to embrace the raw or the dry, roasted, unsalted versions. You have to taste the nut, not the factory seasoning. But there is one specific nut that carries a much more immediate physical danger. It is the Brazil nut. It is large, it is creamy, and it is the absolute most potent source of a mineral called selenium on the entire planet. Selenium is vital for your thyroid, for your immune system, and it is crucial for hormone production to keep you feeling youthful and vital. You absolutely need it. But the Brazil nut has so much of it that it walks a razor-thin line between nutrition and toxicity. This is called selenium intoxication. If you treat Brazil nuts like popcorn and eat a whole bag while watching a movie, you are actively overdosing your system. It happens much faster than you think. Consuming just a few too many on a consistent basis can lead to hair loss, brittle nails, severe chronic fatigue, and even nerve damage. You will literally feel tingling sensations shooting through your hands and feet. It is frightening because it feels like a severe sickness coming out of nowhere. The rule for Brazil nuts is very simple. Treat them like a prescription drug, not a snack. 1 or 2 a day is powerful medicine. A handful is poison. So we have navigated the minefield. You know what to eat. You know what to avoid. And you know the deadly mistake that sends people to the doctor. But what does this look like in practice? How do you take this science and turn it into a daily ritual that lasts for the rest of your life? It all comes down to the perfect dose. You do not need to eat a mountain of food to get these results. To hit that target of 28 grams a day without overloading on calories, we can look at the exact guidelines. A powerful serving is actually quite small. We are talking about 12 almonds, or 24 pistachios, or 7 walnut halves, or just 1 single tablespoon of pure raw nut butter. That is all it takes to flip the biological switch. But here is the real secret to unlocking your health. Do not just stick to one type of nut every single day. Instead of forcing yourself to eat 28 grams of the exact same thing, diversify your portfolio. Mix them up. Eat 12 almonds in the morning to protect your cells, and then eat 7 walnut halves in the afternoon to feed your brain. By doing this, you are harvesting the specific nutrients from each unique shell, and you are getting the full spectrum of cellular repair from your head to your toes. I want you to fast forward your life right now. Imagine yourself 10 years from now. You are in your 50s, 60s, or 70s. There are 2 versions of you. One version continued on the path of least resistance, snacking on empty carbohydrates, riding the sugar roller coaster, and letting the biological rust build up in their cells. That version is tired. That version is fighting stiffness and inflammation every single morning. That version has given up on feeling vital. Then, there is the other version of you, the version that decided to build a fortress. This version of you viewed food as pure data. You ate the walnuts to feed your brain. You ate the almonds to shield your cells. You ate the cashews to fuel your immune system. This version of you is sharper, leaner, and biologically much younger. Your arteries are flexible. Your mind is incredibly clear. You have leveraged the power of compound interest, but you did it for your health. You have the knowledge now. You know the exact science. You know the hidden risks. Now it is time to crack the code. Do not just snack. Fuel your destiny. Treat your body like the high-performance machine it was always meant to be.